In general, yeah, it's family life. It's most important for me.
Isn't that related to the fact that there is this problem of cheating online, or
I mean,
that's
part of it is that, yeah, you can never really like know 100%. On the beach, I was playing. Was pretty nice actually.
all right?
It was nice.
Would you like to repeat it?
Yeah, very much so.
Welcome back to FIDE Grand Prix in Berlin. I'm one Grandmaster Dina Belenkaya, and here I am joined by former Cuban, now American Grandmaster Leinier Dominguez. Leinier, hello and thank you for coming.
Thank you for this opportunity.
So, Grand Prix is starting in 2 days. Tomorrow we have the pairings. How do you feel about it?
Well, I feel great. I mean, it's been a difficult period, the last 2 years, with very little tournaments, like real life tournaments. And this is the part that I enjoy the most in chess, like to play classical chess. And I'm really happy to be back and for such an important event because you have a chance to qualify for the candidates tournament, which is kind of nice that you can at least prepare and then try your best.
So you said you were pretty happy that this tournament was taking place. It means you're in general more that kind of an online player, are you?
Yeah, I mean I play online, but I prefer the live tournaments just by a long shot. I just maybe because I'm used to the tournament atmosphere. Like when you go to a tournament, usually you're traveling, and that allows you to concentrate a bit more. You know that you're going to be playing for, I don't know, 10 days or 1 or 2 weeks or whatever it is, and you kind of get in the playing mode and you're more focused, I think. And that's why I prefer the normal chess than online. Although, of course, it's a nice possibility that we have as chess players. And there are now like huge tournaments like the Champions Tour, for example, and many others. Tournaments being played, but for me, I still prefer the classical way.
So that might have been the longest break from playing chess you've ever had during the pandemic, wasn't it?
Well, not really, because when I did the transfer, like the federation transfer, I didn't play for nearly 2 years. So I remember playing in 2016 at the end of the year, some classical tournament, like a team event. I was playing for the St. Petersburg team in the European Club Cup. And after that, my next classical game, I think it was in February or maybe March 2019. So that was a break of more than 2 years. So I was very happy in 2019 when I was able to play again. And I was playing really well. I had a few tournaments where I was doing really well. And then 2020 happened, and I was kind of hoping for more, and the whole thing got interrupted because of the pandemic, and now it's kind of 2 years more. So it's the last 5 years, I only play 1 year, so it's very, very unusual.
Wow, did you use this opportunity to change some habits in the way you approach chess, maybe to try new openings?
Yeah, it's been difficult because like for my whole life I was used to going to tournaments every year, I don't know, 5, 6 times at least, sometimes more. And yes, it was a big change. Initially, when I moved, well, I moved with my family from Cuba to the US. Of course, it was a big change. Not only the fact that I wasn't playing, but also the whole situation was different. and yes, I had to make some adjustments to my way of life. But yeah, definitely chess. It's always one of the main things, and yes, I've been trying to learn some new things, and overall, I think it's been a good time.
You said chess is one of the few things. Are there any other that's you're passionate about?
Well, in general, yeah, it's family life. It's most important for me. Um, my Christian faith is also something that I put a lot of time into, and like sports and other things. But mainly, it's I view family life as one of the great things that I have to put time and effort into. So that's why I say chess is, of course, one of the things.
You said you were playing for St. Petersburg club Medny Vsadnik, and did you learn some Russian during all those years?
No, I didn't really. I mean, I learned some words, but not really in a way that would allow me to make a conversation. I don't think I'm able to even order in a restaurant or things like that. I do understand a few words here and there. And the thing is, my wife, she studied foreign languages in the university in Cuba, and the main thing was Russian. So she speaks Russian really well. And I remember when I was going all those years, I was trying to, I mean, I would always say, this year I'm gonna really study a bit more seriously and just to be able to learn something. But there was never time somehow, and I didn't get to learn much.
So now you have to make this promise again once the pandemic will be over and you will get back to
Maybe if
to
I
playing for the
maybe
team.
if I get back someday, then maybe I'll do it finally. Yeah.
We'll talk to Mr. Bikov about that, I'm sure. Right. So about this Grand Prix, do you have any particular preparation for this tournament, or is just your usual routine for any other tournaments?
Yeah, I think it's just, of course, you do, and especially here we have the system with only 4 players per group. So once you know your opponents, then you can do some more specific preparation, and I think we all did. But yeah, in general, it's more like you just prepare to play some strong tournaments, and that's it.
Regarding the World Championship match, did you have any particular preference, and were you expecting something different from how it all happened?
I didn't have any preference. I was just watching as a chess fan, and I mean I knew it was going to be interesting. I think for any top player to watch a strong tournament or a world championship match is interesting. Just to see how it goes in terms of openings, in terms of playing in general. I do think I think that I mean I thought that this was one of the possible things that could happen. What happened to Ian, because he was. I mean, when he was playing tournaments, this was one of the things that he sometimes you could feel that he was a bit too emotional, and that maybe that could have a negative impact in his play. I thought it could happen actually at the beginning of the match. I thought maybe it's one chance. I think I said that in one of the my commentaries. But I thought once he plays 1, 2, 3 games and kind of settles in the match, then the pressure would be over, and then if he would survive that stage, then it would be more close. But the opposite happened. He played the first half of the match really well, and then probably got tired and then had problems. But yeah, overall, I just enjoy the whole thing.
And according to Magnus' statements about the potential future challenger, he would be interested only if it was someone from the younger generation. Who do you think might be the next challenger, maybe?
Well, I mean, obviously, Virusha is the most dangerous opponent. I mean, the strongest objectively. So I don't see another player. I mean, there are many young, brilliant players, but clearly, Virusha is the strongest, and yeah, maybe he would be able to challenge Carlsen at some point. I mean, he still has to win the candidates, which is pretty tough, but he has a lot of time.
In your own career, was there someone who you would consider being like the best second that you ever had, or maybe you could tell us how, in general, you choose seconds? What are the criteria?
Yeah, well, for most of my life I was training together with friends of mine. One of them was a grandmaster from my hometown. His name is Ariana Abreu. We grew up together playing, and he also became a grandmaster. And we used to train together for years, and he was going with me at some point to tournaments for several years. I was also training with other Cuban players who were friends of mine, like Bruzon and Quesada, for example, and some other players. It was mainly because we were close, we were friends, and it felt natural to kind of work together. At some point, I got the chance to play stronger tournaments, and they were willing to help me in that. So then I think again in 2016, when I moved to the U.S., there was a big change in that. I started to work with Vladimir Shushalov, which I think is just a great chess player, but even greater coach, chess coach, and just a great person overall. I think working with him for several years now has been really key to my, first of all, keeping my level, but also like to improving. I think I have improved a lot since I started working with him, and yeah, I picked him because I mean I knew he had experience with other top players. I also wanted to try something different and maybe get somebody with more experience. And yeah, once I started working with him, I immediately realized that he's such a great trainer that it was great. I know there are many other great seconds. For example, I got the chance to work with Kasim Shanov when I was helping Fabiano during the 2018 tournaments, the candidates tournament, and then the World Championship match. And he's also great. I mean, great experience as a player, and great coach as well. So yeah, usually when you have somebody who has experience with guys like Giri or Caruana or Carlsen, then you know that they have something to offer.
This is the one.
Yeah, I mean they won't hurt you, let's say. But yeah, then it comes also to other things like the way you interact together and even personal relationships and so on. So yeah, I've been pretty happy with Vladimir so far. I think is one of the best out there.
You mentioned in previous years you were working with friends, but you were also competing together. So how do you manage to keep this friendship with, like, if you still have, let's say, some close friends who are at the same time your competitors?
Well, we were not playing that much because I wasn't really playing that many tournaments in Cuba at that time because I had a really high rating and I would play sometimes the national championship, only that, and then the Capablanca Memorial. But still, maybe I would play one game per year against one of those friends who were working with me, so it wasn't really like a problem. We had, I mean, it was the benefits were so huge, and the downside was that we would need to play a game a year or something like that, and it wasn't really like a problem.
And then you would still fight. You would not agree on a draw.
Sometimes we would just make a draw without playing.
All right. You already mentioned that you clearly prefer over-the-board chess to online. Isn't that related to the fact that there is this problem of cheating online, or that's?
I mean, part of it is that, yeah, you can never really like know 100%, and that bothers a bit because even if it's not happening, it's still affecting your play because it's always there in the back of your mind, right? So you kind of, at least personally, I kind of feel that it's less important for some reason. Like if it's, I mean, if you're not 100% sure that it's fair, then I shouldn't care so much. And when you don't care so much, at least for me, it doesn't really work. So it would be great if that could be improved. And I think many ideas out there like to improve that. And yeah, I would be happy if that happens because it's another window that we can exploit, and we can play like big tournaments online. But yeah, that's one of the issues. I think also, like I was saying before, it's the whole. I mean, maybe for me because I'm from the older generation, I just grew up playing real tournaments, and for me it was always the fact that I was even checking in some hotel. It was already some routine developing that I would just prepare now, rest, then play, and so on. It kind of felt more serious to me. But yeah, overall it's an interesting format and something that we can take advantage of. But definitely the problem of cheating has to be solved.
Do you personally have any potential solutions how to solve this problem, or maybe some ideas that?
I think, yeah, well, the most obvious one is just to have some location where players could gather to play and have some people there, like arbiters.
Like in
just
every city, yeah?
like some big city or something, like you can have in St. Louis and Moscow and maybe Berlin or a couple of cities in Europe.
St. Petersburg?
Yes, in Petersburg, and right. So and then have some arbiters and just if you do something like that, I think you can be as certain as a normal tournament. So that would be one possible solution.
Speaking about something less related to chess in particular, but still, what was the most unusual place where you ever played chess? Like just a game or like friendly game or simultaneous?
On the beach, I was playing. It was pretty nice, actually.
All right.
Yeah, we had this tournament in Cuba back in the day where we would go to one of these resorts in the beach, and people there, some really chess enthusiasts there. They really like chess, and they wanted the support, and they were organizing these tournaments in I think from 2011 till 2015 or something like that. And so we would at some point play on the beach. I think that's pretty unusual, but it was nice.
Would you like to repeat it?
Yeah, very much so.
Right. It especially now in winter. Are there any particular way how chess players can get traumatized or some either injuries or mental health issues when exercising chess like on a professional level?
Yeah, I think probably the main danger is just the tension that goes into the game, especially but not only at like super high level. Like when you're working a lot and then you go to tournaments and you have to prepare and then you go to the game and it's like several hours of tension. It's really exhausting, and if you kind of don't do, if you don't have a way of life that it's healthy enough to balance that, like you getting too much into like the mental struggle and so on, I think it could easily like just kill you mentally.
Do you have any secrets to share with us how you keep yourself healthy and away from all this?
Yeah, I'm trying my best, but I have no. Yeah, I don't think I'm in a position to offer advice on that
Let's say
front.
ideally, like.
Ideally, you want to have like a super balanced, healthy
Some sports?
way of life. Yeah, I mean, you do sports, you have a really good diet, and you make sure that you don't overdo it too much, like in preparation, in terms of preparation, and so you remain fresh and you're physically fit, and you have, let's say, your family life or your life outside of chess is also like something you enjoy and gives you mental peace and so on. But again, it's all that is easier said than done, and I think we all struggle with that to some extent.
Fair enough. If you were to choose one particular move as a first move to make, what would be your choice?
Well, you know me, E4.
Okay, that's a good answer. Perfect.
Best by test.
And for black?
C5, definitely.
You will worry against any opening, right?
Yeah.
Is there a team with you or your family, or you have everybody on distance?
Yeah, mostly work from distance. I don't really have a team that goes with me to tournaments, especially because there are no tournaments now. But yeah, I usually work remotely and always try to, of course, stay in touch with close friends and family. Keep it balanced that way.
Is there any particular opening that you would never play, ever?
No, I don't think so.
Not even 1v3?
No, I used to play it in Blitz, yeah. I think, yeah, if you really love chess, if you enjoy chess, which is the case for, I think, all the top players, you don't say no to anything in chess, like you are interested in pretty much everything.
But you would say no to Bon Cloud.
Well, maybe that one, yeah.
Okay, we found one. That's good, that's good. About social media, do you use any platform to communicate with your
I'm not like super big on social media. I'm kind of old-fashioned
like
a bit, but I'm trying to develop a little bit now my Twitter and Facebook, yeah, Instagram and those things. Mostly my wife is trying to convince me to have a little bit more presence there, and it's nice. Yeah, I mean I can see that beyond the part that you need to do it for your career or anything like that, it's nice to kind of connect with the people who really admire you and follow your career and wish you well. And it's one of the things I want to start doing more this year, like to using my Twitter a bit more.
So hopefully starting with this Grand Prix.
With this Grand Prix, exactly, yeah.
All right. So on these perfect words, let us conclude this amazing interview. And thank you so much for your time. And very good luck for the Grand Prix.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.